everyone, welcome to a new edition of our talk show Diasporas in Business. Diasporas in Business come to feed our needs for good advice from skilled people with outstanding know-how and people who are able to understand entrepreneurial situation. And today we have guest Marco Souto. Welcome, Marco. I'm very happy and delighted to have you with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for letting me have you. And I'm sure our community, Brainstorm strategy, will be more than willing to know more about your expertise. Thank you again. For you, dear entrepreneurs, you need to know Marcos was born and raised in Spain, beautiful country. Why you left Spain for raining UK? You have one degree in industrial engineering.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. People, big name like Robin Sharma, Grant Cardone have been your teacher or
yes.
other. You need to tell me more about that.
Yes. Yeah.
And now you are head coach and the director of sales
Correct.
of Wealth Dragons, the first personal development in UK in the list of stock market.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That is big achievement.
Thank you. It is. We're very, very happy. The mission is to take personal development to more people, to promote the message that through education you can achieve financial freedom or abundance. Okay? And so we're very happy that now we have an opportunity to raise funds to really promote this message.
That is amazing.
Reach as many people as possible.
And you are with Wealth Dragon for many?
I've been with
Yes.
Wealth Dragons for 5 years.
Wow.
So I've seen them from just having a small office and a half, this building you're in, and having an online platform that we want to turn into the biggest online platform on personal development. And yes, we're having multi-speakers and having events all over the UK and Europe as well.
You emphasize everything what you do. Life, business, being careful with concepts like mindset,
Yes.
motivation, top performance. In your perspective, in your view, what is procrastination?
Procrastination, what a good question. So, I think to me, procrastination is when you literally know you should be doing something, that is important to you, but you basically come up with an excuse not to do it and you sort of postpone it. So why do we procrastinate? I think mainly it's because we have fear. And I think it's been ingrained in us through the education system that we should not fail. And when you're at school and you fail at something, you sort of get punished, or you get, your name is mentioned in front of everybody. When you don't have good grades, you sort of, I can remember my parents punishing me for that. So, we have this fear of failing. And therefore, because we fear failing, we sort of procrastinate, we don't take action. And sometimes, because we don't take action, then we never know whether we'll be successful or not. So when we procrastinate, I think we're still living in a dream status where, we wish things to happen, but we don't take action. Therefore, we never know whether we can do it or not. But we can keep the fantasy that, one day I will. But procrastination is fear. And fear paralyzes you.
That's mean this fear keep us in comfort zone?
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly it. Fear, you are fearful of growing your comfort zone, therefore you stay on what you know, and you think that is safe. But the truth is, we need to grow. To really be safe, we must grow. And we must expand that comfort zone. And unless you take actions, things are not going to change in your life. And if you just stay in the comfort zone and think, Jim Rohn says this many times, you could be in a corner and you can live all your life in that corner. Every day we could come here and feed you, every day we could come here and give you some water, and yes, you will be in the comfort zone, and then you will take no risk, but then, what a life that would be. you understand? So procrastination it really is a dream killer, a big dream killer, because it installs fear in you, and when you are fearful you get paralyzed. You cannot think clearly, and you're right, you stay most comfortable.
Your goals is to help others to achieve more goals in their life.
Yes.
How did you know that you are destined for more?
How do I know that I was destined for more? Wow, that's a really good question. Gabriela,
because I'm sure in your business path you meet lots of obstacles, but you didn't take steps back.
Yeah, I think if we are all honest with ourselves, deep inside, we know what
if
we
we
truly,
work on personal development.
Okay, if that's what we truly want to do or not. I, from very early age, had very clear that I wanted to do something that fulfills me. Okay, this is not necessarily something that makes money. It's just something that I feel I'm adding value. So, and that is the reason why I decided to leave my career in banking, to pursue coaching and helping people. And so I perhaps had this conversation that I know deep inside, I really want to be helping people. And probably most coaches do see throughout their lives that naturally people tend to gravitate towards and to ask for advice, okay, to ask for their opinion, to ask for help. If this is someone watching this, then they will understand. So it's throughout your life this has happened, and you do have this skill, okay. And at the same time that there are other people that have the skill of being creative. There's people that don't really conform with norms, people that pretty much you can give them, I don't know, a chair and a table and do something with them, and they open a bar with that. So these will be the entrepreneurs, people that have this creativity. We don't have that to certain degrees, but when I say, to be destined for more, perhaps for me it was to be destined for something different than the standard. Go to university, go and get a 9-to-5 job, go and have your job, ticking when you get in, ticking when you get out. No, that's just did not resonate with me, and that's why I decided to pursue a different career. Yes.
Well done, you did very well. You are the person from whom I have found a strong emphasis of personal development. What means for you? What is for you on personal development?
Personal development. What is personal development for me? Wow. I can tell you that there was a point in my life where I actually had to be honest with myself, and that inner voice that tells you this is not the path you want to continue, this is not the path that you feel fulfilling. So, and then is when I pursue further education and personal development. For me, it is extremely important. It's almost as important as oxygen, and I'll tell you why. Because if there's something in your life you're not happy with, if there's something you feel unease in life, if it's something you don't have or you are not that you would like to be or would like to have, then it's possible to achieve that through growth, through development. So you do not move towards goals. We grow towards the goals. We grow by growing the comfort zone. So, anyone that you admire that is successful, that person has grown.
Yes.
Has grown the circle of influence, has grown the circle of knowledge, has grown their circle of business opportunities, fundraising.
And work every day for the
work every day.
Yeah.
So you feel alive when you grow, and in fact, studies show that your brain, when you learn something new, releases dopamine and serotonin, which are chemicals that make you feel good. So when you finish a book or you read something good in a book, you feel so good.
Yeah, you want to apply everything.
Yes. So if you are that type of person, then growth is so important. And at the end of the day, it really, we're here in this planet, and I think, like a plant, plants don't stop growing. They keep on growing like a tree. A tree is growing all the time. So, yes, for me, so what is it for you? It really is that important in my life. It has helped me to overcome challenges, personal challenges. It has helped me greatly to also, create the life that I have. And I do believe that we can create what we desire, Gabriela, when we grow into that, when we become that person by literally, learning new skills, surrounding yourself with the right people, challenging yourself to do what's uncomfortable. We live in this society of comfort, and that we should be comfortable. Well, being comfortable actually is high risk.
Oh yes.
It's high
and
risk.
You have lots of bruise when you take a risk. Yes.
So being comfortable. If you're an animal and you're comfortable in the savannah in Africa, you do pretty much know someone's gonna eat you soon.
Yes.
So yes, that's why personal development is so important. I think in many areas, not just your intellect, not just meeting new people, but also spiritually, you want to grow. You want to also your health to be better, and especially here in the West, where we actually have access to so many things. And
when I think on personal development, I think it's important to put this object and to study in schools.
Yes.
More and more, to be more awareness about ourselves and what we want to achieve. I remember at some point you tell something what I love it so much. Reading, it's a form of self-love.
Yes.
And I love this phrase. If we were to make a top 5 books that help you to grow, to change your life, to become a better person, can we know?
Top 5.
And why?
Wow.
Why that book?
I can tell you. Number 5, it will be The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Why?
Amazing book.
It's an amazing.
I read it a few times with my pen and my hands.
An amazing book. He is a biologist. The scientific research on that book that demonstrates how your environment impacts your health. We now live in a society which is obsessed with pharma, which is obsessed with taking medicines and pills. The pharma industry is the biggest industry in this planet. That tells you how can this be. And the truth is that most of the diseases we have, most of them are actually caused by stress. By stress. And
about this fight inside of our truth, to move, to stay, to make others happy, and to keep my happiness far away from others.
Exactly. So, and if you live in a negative environment, in this book, I said there's a scientific research demonstrating how a negative environment impacts you. Okay, how a positive environment impacts your cells. So I think that is extremely important because we sometimes are thinking, I need to learn something new, I need to, invest in perhaps learning certain skill. All of that is fine, but your environment is so important. You surround yourself by positive people. You have a positive day. They say that if I want to find out how much money you make, I just need to ask the 5 people you spend most time with how much money they make. I make the average.
Yes.
And that will be the money you make. So that's how important it is. It is an amazing book, a highly recommended book. That the Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. 4th book for me, it will be The Power of Now.
Oh yeah.
Power of Now is the book from Eckhart Tolle, and I tell you why. Okay, I know some people may say it's a book about spirituality. It's a book about different concepts. This book, it really, to me, is a business book, and I'll tell you why. Because in business, in life, if you want to make a good decision, you must be able to stay present. You must be able to detach yourself from constant thinking and worries of the past, or regret from the past, or worries about the future. I found that book really helpful. Also helps you to detach yourself from a reaction when you're negotiating with people, when you are actually speaking to potential clients, to sort of dissociate from, what are they thinking, what do they mean? When we are present, then we're more focused, have more clarity. And if you want to influence someone, can, especially in sales. You want to influence someone, connect with that person, acknowledge their presence, as opposed to thinking, what should I be saying now? What is she thinking? And what do I gonna say next? When we are in that mode, we're not really connecting. The Power of Now is an amazing book. That would be my fourth. My third book, for me, it will be the Warren Buffett biography. Warren Buffett biography, the make of an American capitalist. I'll tell you why. The book is an amazing story of his life, but you get to see how someone from modest means,
Yes.
okay, through
So an example, good example.
yes,
of
with
modesty, yeah.
modest means, and it just basically is able to create extraordinary wealth, which he has, create change without having to be a fancy person. He still lives in the same home in the middle of America, and is someone that has created wealth with the intention to, in fact, give up his wealth. I find that fascinating.
Yes.
Because you can live, a great life. You don't need.
We run for lots of things that really we don't need. The society need put the rules. You need to have that and that and that to be successful.
Yeah.
But Buffett is very good example to keep your values, personal values,
Exactly.
not your society values awake.
Exactly. And you know what, Gabriela? Because also, these sometimes some people have this idea that the rich people are mean. Rich people are not good people. The wealthy are oppressing us, selfish. All this negative talk, and we have to stop this. We must stop this, because that mindset keeps people poor. The wealthy people that I have contact with, they share. The wealthy people are the ones that I've met the most generous. They share, and the wealthy people, these are self-made people. So to have someone like Warren Buffett, or someone like the owner of Zara that starts from nothing, or have someone like Bill Gates to create billions of wealth in their lifetimes, that is amazing. And they have done that by creating value, by creating employment. So I think we have to break that idea that the rich are this, the blame on the rich. When you have that type of wealth, you can create a great change in the world. I'm not saying you cannot create change without wealth, but what I'm saying is that wealth speeds things up. What Bill Gates is doing with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they are changing, saving people's lives. And so I think I got really moved by that book, and their mission is literally to stop suffering in this world. The second book for me this is not so well known, is The 5 Secrets You Must Discover Before You Die, by John Izzo. So the 5 secrets you must discover before you die. John Izzo spent 2 years doing research, interviewing people, some of them over 60, over 70, some of them over 50, people that were considered by the communities to possess wisdom. So he interviewed over 2 years with his team, people from different nationalities all over the world, female, male, people that were considered by the community to possess wisdom. And so these people, most of them have lived a long life. And through this book, he actually comes out with, through the interviews, there were 5 secrets, 5 points, okay, that seem to keep on coming back on all the answers. And because on the interview they were asking them, well, you have lived so much life, what was perhaps your message to the younger generations?
Yes.
And it's a fascinating book when you can get people older than you that have lived, people here in Europe, most of our grandparents have lived war, okay? So people that have lived this type of circumstances and basically tell you in the review what are the 5 things you should know, you should have to basically live a fulfilling and happy life. It's a very powerful book. I remember when I read it, Okay, it was 2 years ago before Christmas. I just literally got everybody that book. Okay, fascinating.
That means you need to start to make to give gift to your friends or other.
Yes, I think books is probably one book. There are books. If you love books, there are books that you just literally one page and you may have an insight there that changes you. Books is probably the best way of leveraging from other people's knowledge. And sometimes we say, let's say for example you want to be mentored by Richard Branson. Richard Branson may not mentor you, or you may not be able to afford. That's fine. Buy the book.
You have
buy
a lot
his
of
book.
video.
Yeah,
books,
and you have so much content. That's why. But books of biographies, they are my preference, because you see the journey of the person, you see their ups, so it motivates you. Okay,
and the downs.
But you see the downs, and the downs are very important, because that's how you learn to bounce back. You understand? So to be at the top of the mountain, fantastic. I already know. I already know it's fantastic. Okay, perhaps I don't need so much anyone to tell me how fantastic it is. Tell me when you fail, because I know you fail. How do you bounce back? Because that really is the meat and the bones. And the number one, and this is my all-time favorite, I read this book every single year. Okay, my personal favorite is.
I'm sorry, you have every single year other perspective of that book.
I think every time I read this book, that I want to tell you, I get a different insight, because at the same time books are alive. You are a different person.
Yes,
okay, it's like if you and I meet in a year time, we're probably gonna have a different conversation, because we both have evolved. But my number one recommendation is my favorite book of all time, is a book written by a Brazilian author, very famous Brazilian author called Paulo Coelho, and the book is The Alchemist.
Oh, yes.
And The Alchemist is a fable, and it's a fable of a Spanish shepherd that lives in the comfort of home and looking after his sheep, and literally goes in pursuit of his treasure, and crosses the desert to go to a place where there are pyramids in the desert in Egypt. And so it's a beautiful book, and it's a fable of pursuing your dreams, a fable of trusting your instincts, a fable of stretching that comfort zone, and the danger of staying in what you know, staying in your inner circle and not growing that. So that's
when I hear all your insights about the books, and my mind was, wow, the statistics tell something else. The average person read one book a year, and one CEO of Fortune 500 read nearly 60 books a year.
Right.
Wow, the discrepancy is huge, and that leave lots of space for the development area to be developed and manifest.
Yeah.
How often you write your goals and you put on your diary or check your growing plan?
So in regards to my goals, you asked me how often, Marcus, do you write these goals, and how often you check your growth plan. I love that you asked that, because I'm a firm believer that to really move on in life, we need to have a growth plan. You do not build a building without a plan. You do not build a yacht without a plan. So the same should be for your life. Okay. So how often? Well, listen, it's like everything that is good. How often should you do it? If what is good helps you to move forward, if what is good helps you to grow, to achieve, to reach out to more people, to create more abundance in your life, then you will do it daily. So I do this daily. I do it when I wake up, but I also do it when I go to bed. Okay, and the reason why I literally write down, and I will write down my life goals, and I will write down the goals for this year as well. So I will do that, and the reason is they're so important to me that therefore I want to give them the first few minutes of my day, and but also resets my mind to what's truly important. You understand? So then you can go to work, you can go and meet clients, you can go through your day,
and this busy day you forget about yourself.
Yes, okay. And sometimes something may happen. Maybe driving, someone cuts you off. Maybe you have someone when you go to Starbucks and someone says something to you. As opposed to get upset, okay. Writing down your goals keeps that present. So at least you do know that what truly is important for me is this and that. Okay, so don't get so upset or caught by things happen throughout the day. So it's important to have clarity of goals, because then you do know what's priority and what is not. Okay?
We do a lot of confusion between priority and
Yes.
what is important or what is not
Exactly.
important.
And then it means if it's not priority, well, then you don't get so upset about it. If it's, if it's not really helping you to move towards your goals, then you don't perhaps get so upset, or you put less of time. But your growth plan is something you should be touching base. I personally, my growth plan, which I do have for the entire year, at the end of each month, I do a reflection. So this month, okay, what have I achieved? How am I on target for my growth plan? What can I learn? What can I do different? And it is like driving an airplane. So the way the pilot drives the airplane,
Yes.
they're like 99% of the time off track. They're constantly coming back. So it's not a perfect plan, but it keeps me accountable. So anything that is good and it helps you to grow, Gabriela, we probably want to do daily.
That is very good. How, many of us, 1%, we expend lots of time planning our next holiday.
Yes.
And after, when we are on holiday, we planning our life.
Yes.
You, on your side, you live intentionally.
Yes.
How?
That's
How you
really
manage?
really good question. So how can you live intentionally? Well, first you need to have clarity of what you want to achieve. Okay, I think it really is important that first of all, we all define a mission in life. Some people call it your dharma. What do you think you're here to do, or what is it that you would like to create?
Your legacy.
Okay? What's going to be your legacy? So once you have that clear, then you can put goals to do that. But to live intentionally means to, number one, have clear goals. Number two, have a clear plan to make them happen. So once you have the goal, but do you have the plan? Number three, have you put the necessary resources to make that happen? Meaning, are you investing in education? Are you investing in meeting the right people? Are you investing in being in the right place at the right time? Are you investing in are you putting time aside for your development? Are you are you investing in being held accountable? It's really important. You've got a plan, you've got to go to achieve. Get someone to make you accountable. Tell everybody so people will hold you accountable, so you feel that pressure. We want to have that type of stress.
Public promise. Yeah.
Exactly. If it's something you want, why wouldn't you tell everybody? And sometimes we don't really want to do that, so we're not hold accountable. But then that's like
because we don't
procrastination
want to
again.
fail,
Because
and
we don't want to
somebody
fail.
to tell, oh,
Yeah.
it's another promise, yeah.
And some of us are so, some people are so concerned with other people's approval and opinion, and the truth is, in my experience, whenever I have taken the risk on something, I believed it would work, okay, and I fully devoted to that, despite the fact of inner circle or family members telling you you're making a mistake. In my experience, at the end of it, it's always going to work out. Some way or the other, it will work out. But now going back, those people that were sort of criticizing me or saying, oh, what a mistake you're making, now saying, we always knew you were going to succeed, or we're so happy for you. Because, people that truly love you would be happy with your growth.
And it will give you a lot of support when you're down.
It will, and at the beginning they may not necessarily give you that support because they perhaps want to protect you. And I think we all have to be able to differentiate.
Marcos, all the time I advise my clients to writing down goals, personal goals and business goals, to talk with friends and around them about them plan. Tell us about your daily routine. When you wake up, if you do sports, or when you go to school, what you're doing day by day.
So I would usually wake up at 5, so I wake up early. And the first hour of my day, and that's what I encourage my clients to do, is to use that first hour in 3 slots of 20 minutes each. So the first 20 minutes, I will write down my goals. I would write down my goals, yearly goals, daily goals, but I will also write down 2 things that I want to achieve before 10 a.m. on that day. So 2 things that are important. That if I only achieve one of them, then my day is done. So that brings priority, and then I sort of plan out my day. Okay, they say that Jeff Bezos, when he wakes up, spends 2 hours in bed visualizing his day ahead, and this is the owner of Amazon. That's the richest man in the world right now. So I probably need to stretch now and do more than 20 minutes, but sort of my goals and plan my day. The next 20 minutes, it's more about learning something new. It could be reading, it could be going on doing some training, basically feeding your mind. Okay, it could also be writing down your gratitude list. Okay, but I love putting time aside to learn something. It really gets. I start my day learning something new. You are already a step ahead. Okay, and then and after that, if I can go, I go to the gym. Because sometimes, because I have to travel, not always I can go to the gym, but I will do some form of exercise. That really is important. So if you can go to the gym or you can go to the swimming pool, fantastic. If not, some form of exercise in your room. Okay, and after that, you have completed 1 hour where you basically have fed your mind, okay, learning something new. You have fed your soul, writing your goal, gratitude list, and you have fed your body through some form of aerobic exercise. You do that at 6, you are ahead of the game. There's people still sleeping, so that gives you that edge. Okay, and sometimes people don't think, well, Marcos, I can't go to the gym or I can't. Okay, I think what is truly important is to at least put some time aside for your goals, learn something new, do something that really gets your blood pumping, and that is competitive edge. You basically wake up to prepare. So that is probably one of my daily habits that I would say I highly recommend people do. When I go to bed, definitely the last hour before going to bed is time that I dedicate more to sort of unwind. For me, it's through meditation, or it could be doing a program or reading something about Eckhart Tolle, or watching Eckhart Tolle's content, or it could be Deepak Chopra. But some is a bit more, perhaps meditation, a bit more perhaps spiritual, if you want to call it, okay? And it's a way of unwinding, okay? And there's no use of phones. I do not go on social media or anything after 8, okay? Because you also need to rest is so important, and we may spend whatever hours is sleeping. Some people 5, some people 8, some people a bit more, but it has to be quality. And sometimes you need the mind to stop the thinking process. You can have a good night's sleep, so you can wake up the next day and
to let the good ideas to come out.
Get good ideas to come out, and some people have great insights while they sleep. And you're right to basically give room for the new. So we need to get rid of.
Your mission is to help people to change their life by financial freedom. How do you encourage this responsibility, and tell us more about the steps, what you're doing with one client to make more awareness, to be more responsible, more active in their actions.
Okay, so how to increase awareness, how to make people feel more responsible for their actions. I think, Gabriela, everything starts with a why. Why do we do what we do? Why do we want what we want? When a client comes to me and says, well, Marcos, I've been wanting to create a business for so long. I have a very demanding job. I never had the time, but I would love to start maybe creating a business on the side, or start making some money on the side, with the idea perhaps of maybe leaving my job at some point. That's fine. You probably want first is why. Why do you want all of that? Because unless you have a strong why, it's going to be very challenging to overcome the obstacles. And entrepreneurship is not easy. Entrepreneurship is not glamorous. Entrepreneurship is not fun. So it's the opposite of that. And so I want my clients to have this very, very clear, but at the same time, there is great rewards. You understand? You are creating value, you're leaving a legacy, you are playing, you're basically playing at your full potential, let's put it like that. If you believe you have something inside and you want to create a business, you want to help people, then and you're pursuing that, then you're playing at your full potential. So number one is why. I always ask why. They must have a very clear why, and unless that why is big enough for what they want to achieve, then there really is no point. We need to dig in deeper. Some people have goals that they really are not their own. Some people have goals that they have borrowed from society, like people that believe I should be married, or I should be thin, or I should be eating vegetables, or I should be this way, or I should go to university, I should do this. Some people come to me with goals that are borrowed goals. You understand? I usually say, well, if you, I should have invested in property. And I said, well, you're already 55 or 60 years old. If you should have already invested in property, that was truly your goal. If that was truly your goal, you would have done this by now. So I think it's important we ask ourselves, what do we truly want? Okay, and usually when you see people that achieve great success, if we go now through the Forbes list, okay, on the top 100, you will see people that actually start business because they wanted to create change, they have a great idea, they wanted to put it into practice, they want to help big numbers of people, okay, and it's not purely to make money. Okay. Some people, they get motivated by money, but that's not the case with most of the success stories we see.
They really don't fit on that page.
Yeah, exactly. So number one is finding a clear why, and that why must be powerful for them to endure what they're going to go through. Number two, we must have clear goals. Exactly where are we now, where are we going to go, and where we're going to go, it must be clearly defined. If I don't know where I want to go, how will I ever gonna get there? Once we have clear goals, once we have the why first, the clear goals second, then we put a plan of action that will be third. Okay, so what steps do we need to take to get there? Number four, what obstacles are we going to encounter? And that is something that most people miss out. Most people think just because I put a plan, it's going to happen. No. What obstacles do you foresee right now? Always bearing in mind there will be new obstacles that you can't see. So bear in mind that it's going to be more than you think. So, but right now you could have an obstacle and you could say, well, maybe I'm already looking after my children, I really don't have time. Or maybe I'm so stretched out with my job at this moment, I don't really have the time to put for this business. Or maybe, well, my partner is being so negative.
Excuse.
Yeah.
Because you don't plan it
okay.
well.
So whatever it is, so understand the obstacles, so you can allocate resources to overcome those obstacles. And number five is what resources that you're going to put in place for this. You understand, you must invest to get something back. So are you going to invest in your education? Are you going to invest in getting yourself in front of the right people? Are you going to invest in having, a product or service well designed to sell? Are you going to invest on a platform where you can sell the product? Are you going to invest time, money? What resources are you going to invest? And when you do that, you also need to understand that for every you see that you want to achieve, you will have to give something up. Some people think there's no trade-offs, that you can achieve what you want without any trade-off.
No.
That is not true. And that goes against any nature. It's like if you want to find the right person to have a family with, you will have to give up something.
Yes.
Maybe your freedom as a single person. Maybe all of a sudden you need to start compromising on things. So there is this law of trade-offs, which means, when people want to achieve a goal, most people start very, very strong, super motivated. Okay, and then after a week or two, we start procrastinating, and some people, after 2 more weeks, they quit. Okay, or they just encounter a big problem and they just quit. So we quit when we basically no longer are willing to give up something we have, or a trade-off to continue the journey. We give up when we're not willing to to endure the pain anymore. We are not willing to sacrifice more things in our life anymore. So we need to understand that, because everything that you want to have or create in your life, there will always be a part of you that you will have to sacrifice. You understand? So I think with these 5 points, okay, clients now have a higher chance. Okay, with a big why, clear goals, a clear plan, understanding the obstacles and what resources they need to have, okay, to overcome those obstacles, and understanding what they need to sacrifice as well. And the final one, Gabriela, just basically be accountable. Tell people what you're going to do. Tell your best friends. Tell everybody. They say that Michael Jordan, biggest basketball player of all times, every time he went into the changing room before he went to a match, every single time he would go and tell all his teammates, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to score more points than you. You're going to see my back all day. And so basically he would put himself in a place where everybody was sort of expecting him to fail, so he would have to deliver. But that's what greatness is about. So, you know,
it's the way you put your brain to push
exactly.
more and more, and to find a solution.
Exactly.
To make things.
And how many of us, through stressful situations, we are able to come out with great ideas? You know, we live in this society that doesn't want to have any stress, doesn't want anything that's stressful.
We want quick,
fast, pain-free.
Yes.
Everything should be pain-free. We live in a society we think, you know, thanks to pharma and pills, everything should go. Well, the truth is there's no growth unless you go through pain. When we grow, when we're teenagers, you know, we grow and there's pain. Some people have pain. You know, you as a mother want to have a child, you will have to go through pain. So I think it's important to understand that part, and that we have to go through pain. So like Michael Jordan was telling everybody, this is what I'm going to do. He was putting himself into stress. Okay, so you come up with a plan, tell everybody that's what you want to achieve, and if you want to make sure you don't give up, then tell the person that you know he or she will love to see you fail.
Talking about strategies and roles and responsibility in the World Dragons, let me ask you something what is very important for me to be condensed on one phrase. If you need to left your organization for 1 year, and the only form of communication with your team is one phrase, that will be? Yeah,
if it's going to be one phrase, okay, it will have to be our motto here, and that is do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. So if I have to leave and I'm not going to be in the office for a year, and then what do I want my team to do? What do I want the organization to do? Do whatever it takes. We are very clear on our goal, and our goal is to take the education that we promote to get people financially free, to get that in the hands of 1 billion people. That is the goal. Do whatever it takes. I'm a firm believer, Gabriela, firm believer that we can create what we want in life. Now, some people may come to me with, reasons or excuses not to do things. I'm not interested in excuses. Tell me how we can make it happen. You know, how many times, and Henry Ford, when he created the Model T car, and he was told by his engineers, it's impossible to create what you want. It's impossible. And then he kept on saying, just come back with a plan. Come back with to make it happen. So do whatever it takes. It means to me that you don't give up, because despite of failure, you take feedback and you find a way. Find a way. If we were always living with the idea that we can quit on things, we have never discovered America. We have never been to the moon. We have never discovered penicillin. We have never discovered so many things. So I think it's so easy nowadays to quit. It's just so easy to try a diet and to quit. It's just so easy to find someone you're dating and quit. It's so no, and you know, I came to the UK 16 years ago, and so many of your audience, I believe, come from other places, and we could have all chosen an easier life.
Yes.
My life would have been so much easier at the beginning, back home in Spain, doing what was expected of me, and if you believe that you have something in you, that you want to connect with other people, have an international approach to life, just meet different cultures, you just basically need to feed your mind with what others are doing, and then you didn't come here and just quit.
No, I remember about myself when 5 years ago, only 2 words in English I know, yes or no, and everything I learned studying and reading a lot of books, but I like to be out of comfort zone, to learn from the best people, to be around the best people like you. And talking about people around us, you are on your bus. You are with the right people.
I like your metaphor. Well, I think I am. Okay, who you surround yourself with, okay, will have a big impact in your future. And I'm extremely lucky. I'm very grateful to spend time with John Lee and with Vincent Wong. So to spend time with people that literally want to make a dent in the universe, like Steve Jobs wanted. People that want to get the education on how to create financial abundance and freedom in the hands of 1 billion people. These are mad people. Like Elon Musk wants to take us to Mars. These people are mad. And mad, but this is the good mad. Like Columbus, he wanted to cross the Atlantic.
I believe it's our Columbus of
yes. So these people are mad. People like Oprah Winfrey. These people are mad. People like Eckhart Tolle was sleeping rough and in park benches with a desire to write the book The Power of Now. These people are mad, and I think we need more of mad people in this world. And these are the good mad people. You understand? So to work with people like John Lee, with Vincent Wong, it challenges me in many aspects, because these people tend to be really high level thinking, and these people that are high level thinking that create things in life. I love working with people that have integrity. I love working with people that genuinely want to help. Okay, I found them generous. Okay, I can tell you in this organization, John Lee and Vincent Wong are the people that work the hardest. We work very hard because of the mission we have. But yes,
and we see that we see they work shoulder to shoulder to grow and to change the mentalities. Talking about challenging, tell us about the most important moment on your business path to today, the challenging moment.
Well, I have had many challenges, but
if you remember the first and the last.
I would say that I've had many challenges. Okay, there are moments where things don't go right, and despite you wanting to do everything well and helping clients, for whatever reason things don't go right, and then but you still have to help people. So the circumstances like that. For me, perhaps one of the challenges that comes to my mind when you're telling me this is when I left my career in banking. And because, well, first of all, I already moved from Spain to the UK against everybody's advice, and everybody telling me I would fail, I would come back within 3 months.
Where do you go? It's raining there.
Yes, telling me how crazy I was. But then I actually started working in banking. I was doing well. People see that. People have appreciation for that, and then leaving all of that to pursue a career in coaching, which my inner circle didn't understand what I was. People thought I was crazy by spending tens of thousands of pounds on training programs and just having. Basically living that security. When you work for one of the big 5 banks, you don't leave. You don't leave this corporation. I was working in Canary Wharf, and this is maybe from the outside perhaps perceived as a great job, but the truth is inside it was not fulfilling. Inside it just was not what I wanted to do. So taking that leap of faith and just literally, I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna pursue what I'm passionate about, and restarting, that was a challenge. But like everything, you want to assess, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, the worst thing that could happen is that I start my coaching business and no one wants to be coached by me. Okay, so, so what would I do? Well, I'll continue finding people that can help me, okay, to generate clients. I'll continue learning. So what's the worst thing that could happen then? That I still make no clients. So, I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'm still, in a country that I absolutely love. I'm still, but I will be a better version of myself. You can
understand better.
Yes, and you understand yourself better. You can always go back to previous employment if you wanted to. So that was probably a challenge, and especially when I did it, which was towards 2011. So it's the whole of the crisis, economic crisis. No one was leaving jobs in banking. You were fired of banking. So if you actually had that job, you would be even more crazy to do that. But that's with every challenge that I have taken, I have grown. Okay, and I think regardless of the result, you can grow. And sometimes life takes you in different paths you didn't even know. Okay, that it was open for you, but when it has happened, it's because I've always taken that step. If I've never been going to personal events, I would never have met John Lee. He would have never contacted me. I would have never been working here. You and I would have never been speaking.
That is true.
You understand? So, yes. I hope this answers your question.
The old cliche tell us we learn more from failure, more than other people's success, and that is very true. Your failures. What?
We will need another program for all of this.
One.
We will need an entire program.
It's a good idea for your future with World Dragons.
Failures in life. I can tell you if I was going back, and this may be a bit controversial to some people, but I do think formal education. Okay, so I've got a master's degree in industrial engineering, which number one is something I truly have a heart and have a passion. And I did that because I just want to conform with what was expected of me, okay, and what my family wanted. So one of my failures in life probably was there was a time in my life where I put other people's goals in front of my own goals. Okay, so but you do learn with that, and it's not, thanks to programs like this, now people can learn this, but back then, that you were not supposed to even have goals of your own. You would follow what your parents tell you. So that was a failure. Pursuing formal education, thinking that was it for me, and finishing my degree with absolutely no knowledge of the real world, that was a failure. And this was many years of my life that I spent there. I'm not getting that back, but I just not prepared for the real world. I think education on money, on finance, how to find money, how to make deals, what is an asset, how to create marketing. This is a must. That education you want to have. We're talking about education on knowing yourself, knowing you spiritually, knowing you physically and mentally. That should be a must. So that would be a failure for me. I do have many. Obviously, in business, you make failures. Okay,
Yes.
I make them all the time.
Yes.
Sometimes.
I did some.
Yeah. But sometimes I'm telling you now, it's not that I have regrets, but I now consider perhaps bigger failures were times in my life where I didn't step up to the task, that I didn't take the risk. So they say that you regret the risks that you don't take more than the ones I've taken, and perhaps I haven't gone the right way. So when perhaps I didn't really step up and take the opportunity, this these things, because at the end of the day, you want to meet as many people as possible. You want to take as many opportunities as possible, so you grow.
Yeah.
You want to have that exposure. One regret I had is for some time thinking, well, I will never be a speaker. People don't want to listen to someone with a foreign accent. So for some years in my life, I believed that, and that belief, keeps you playing small.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a country where you can do well, despite the fact that you're not a national, is the UK. And we live in the best of times to create wealth, to create abundance. We have abundant information, and we do have so many resources. So this is the best of times. And I'm sure you study through history, this is the best of times. So, yeah.
I ask about failure because it's the best way to learn from others how to avoid your own mistakes in business. And on the other side, if it's possible to give one piece of advice for someone outside who is in the position to start a new business, what will be?
So if you want to start a new business, what will be my advice? Well, I would say probably these 5 steps, that you get very clear the one, that you are very honest with yourself, because if this is a goal that you truly want, fantastic, but if it's a goal that you are borrowing, if you believe you have to be this way to perhaps make someone else happy or to fulfill someone else's expectations, then it's going to be very, very challenging. But definitely what I would say, if someone wants to go ahead, is invest. You must invest. You must invest in the right knowledge, in the right contacts, in being in the right circles. You must invest in yourself, okay? In becoming that person. You have to. So if you want to invest in yourself at a level that scares you, okay? If you cannot invest in yourself, into coming to a program paying £5,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is, then how do you expect your clients to buy your programs? You have to be ahead of that game. And then once you decide all of that, to all my clients, 2 things to focus. Sales. Number 1, you must sell. We must be able to sell product or service. Sales it is the most important thing. I don't care how beautiful your website is. I don't care how beautiful your Instagram page is. Are we selling? Are we really closing sales? It really is that important. Are we really helping people for that? And number 2, marketing. How are you marketing your business?
How are you marketing your program?
So, nowadays it's easier than ever. At the same time, it's complicated. And I'll tell you why. Because now you have social media platforms that you can use to market your message, like you are using social media platforms. And those platforms are free. You just need to learn how to, use them to build that personal brand, build followers, people that follow you and deliver content. You need to understand how each of the platforms work. No one goes to social media to be sold anything. Okay? People go to social media to connect with friends and family, and to sort of entertain themselves, and also to deliver for education. Okay, so right now the biggest search engine on how to is YouTube. How to do this, how to do that. So you want to create content on these platforms that actually people want to consume. Okay, and the biggest mistake people make is trying to sell way too soon. Okay, but you say, how do you market, Marcus? Creating a personal brand, especially through social media. You telling anybody and everybody in your inner circle what you do. If you cannot tell,
is like your Bible.
Yes, exactly. That is your Bible. If you cannot tell your inner circle what you do, if you cannot be proud of what you do, if your friends and family don't buy from you, then we have to change something.
Yes.
Understand? So yes, it's people that know you. People buy from people. Okay. So I would definitely go this literally 2 ways: social media and your one-to-one, your inner circle, don't cost you any money. Okay, these are free. And then third, of course, you need to have a marketing funnel. Marketing is like, so your business is like a little baby when you start. If you want this baby to grow tall and strong,
you need to feed them.
You need to feed them. You need to feed them. Now, are you going to feed them every 7 days? Are you going to feed your baby every month? No, you're going to feed your baby every day. So are you putting marketing in your business every 2 weeks? Are you putting marketing, spending on ads every 2 months? No, you need marketing every single day. But then you also want to feed your baby the right food. That's why I say, learn how to do the right marketing, because marketing definitely can help you, okay, if it's done the right way, or you can waste a lot of money if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to learn from that.
You are in selling over 15 years.
Yes.
Actively selling, and sometimes creating and manage sell teams.
Yes.
How you build your teams, or especially here?
That's a great question. So
special here in Wealth for Dragons, because I saw you have amazing team around.
Yes, in Wealth Dragons, it was very important to us that anyone we bring to the organization is someone that shares the same values. Okay, so we are on a mission to turn this into $1 billion company. We're on a mission to basically have our education in the hands of 1 billion people. So it's going to take something extra. So first of all, this person must share the same values. Okay, a value for development, so do they develop themselves, a value for integrity, a value to have the attitude or do whatever it takes. So that would be first of all we were looking for. But when I recruit people, I'm always looking for someone that brings added value. I'm not looking for someone that is passive and just comes here to take and take and take. I firmly believe, in every organization you work in, you are here to add value. That's how you make money. So you add value to your employer, then you make money. And it just makes your day so much more fun, to create value. So I'm looking for people that are active. I'm looking for people that have good attitude. I'm not here to motivate anyone.
That means the Wealth Dragons pay them employed by performance, not by...
exactly. So, and that's how it should be, because when it is that way, then, you take care of yourself. Some people have become so passive in life that they think the state should take care of me. Everybody else should take care of me. No, you should take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you have you. That's whoever you believe in. Okay, on how we are here on earth. But your job is to take care of you and
after for others.
Yeah, and
they are not happy, healthy.
That's how you help other people. So we're looking for people with the same values. We're looking with people that has that attitude, and obviously it is really important. Obviously, I want people that can work in a team. You understand? I want top performing people. I want people that this is a team effort, and if you want to create great things, you need to surround yourself with great people. So you need a team, and so that skill is extremely important. Can this person work well with the team? Will this someone that will be helping everybody else, or is there going to be someone that's going to be so individualistic that is going to be pushing people to the side?
And the last question.
Yes.
What is more rewarding, to build a successful company, or to keep this success of the company on the top?
So what is more rewarding, to build a successful company or to keep success? Oh, well, I may tell you once we hit the target. I can tell you, well,
because Wealth Dragons is a very successful organization. Your goal, your private goal, like company, is something else. But from outside, it's successful.
I think at the end of the day, we are alive by growing. Mm-hmm. When we grow, we are alive. We challenge ourselves, and we look for the challenges and risks that make us become better. So I believe is by helping the company grow, by reaching out to these 1 billion people, that to me is rewarding. To maintain something, is that rewarding? Well, I don't know how much, but there's really not much skill on maintaining. What is more rewarding, making 1 million or keeping 1 million? Well, it does take skills to keep 1 million, I understand. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when the last day of our lives is here, and we go and meet our creator, for those who believe in creator, or it's just your last day. You're not going to take with you your suits, you're not taking with you your money, you're not going to take with you your account, you're not going to take with you, your house, your car. No. Okay, you take with you your memories, what you look behind, and that's the legacy. Okay, so I believe it's the experiences we've been through, how often we have challenged ourselves, how often we have done what's uncomfortable, but it was right. Okay, so I think, that's what we will take with us. So to answer your question, I believe what is rewarding is to grow things, to create things. We are designed to work. Mm-hmm. We are designed to grow things. I don't think we are designed to keep necessarily things. We do need people that keep things, of course we do. We need both, and it's very important that, I think the reward comes with creating something of value.
Thank you so much, Marcos.
You're very welcome.
For your openness and your personal point in our edition. I'm sure our community will be happy to, and they will take our video and will think, that is the book I need to read this year. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much. And you, dear entrepreneurs, don't miss our edition. Thank you.